ready?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, good people. How you doing? Welcome to the Irie Mega Beauty Expo 2016. My name is Cassius. I'll be doing Barbernomics today for you, and the topic I'll be talking about is how to build a product line. I got a couple products for you. I want to show it to you before we get started. First one I want to show you is roller coaster waves. Roller coaster waves is pretty much our baby, and that's what we started out with, and I'll tell you a little bit about the product. But before I tell you about the product, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. That gonna work? It's not gonna work. I am from San Diego, California. I've been in the hair business for 20 years. My clientele ranges from, well, let me say the top three. I call my big three is Luda, T.I., and Usher, and really ain't no need to say anybody else. Benny Boone, Gary F. Gray, Chaga Zulu, KP, I can go on and on and on. But I've been really blessed in the hair industry for 20 years, and it's provided me an opportunity to take care of my family and expand outside of the barber chair and come into a new platform, which is pretty much selling hair products. Come on in, Chris. I need a water anyway. But I've been doing this hair product game for 5 years. My platforms that I market my product on are social media related. I can share with you some of those, and I'm going to get into that marketing section once I kind of go down the line. Thanks, Chris, appreciate you. Once I kind of go down the line of some of the beginning, what's up? Okay. Once I go down the line of some of the introductory things that we need to do to really start this class. First, let me start the product. One of the first things you need to do, in addition to basically finding out who you're going to market to, is finding out your name. There's a lot that goes into a name. As you can see, Barbernomics is synonymous with the industry. I use the colors of the pole, which are red and blue, of course, and then the white trim, and the nomics is the green. You know, it's just symbolic of really what represents the culture of hair, and Barbernomics is really a continuum to roller coaster waves. Basically, it is the Sallies of the barber community, and that's kind of where we want to go with our next phase of evolution into this product game. I wanted to kind of go into some details real quick about some of the things I think are important. Well, let's talk about names. When you decide to pull a name, you want to find a name that, first of all, is not taken by anyone. The simplest way to do that is just to apply it, simply put it in Google search. Now, just because the name is in a category, like say it's chairs. Chairs, it could be chairs in the category of furniture. Now, that might be taken in the category of furniture, but it might not be it might not be taken in the area of hair industry. So with names, a lot of different ways you can twerk that name. You can put chairs with an S, you can put chairs with a Z. You know, you can get creative like that. From an internet aspect, you can go .com, .net, you know, whatever you would like to do, .biz. There's a lot of different ways to do that, but you really want to find a name that really inspires you, and when you think about that name, it really makes you want to grab on to whatever they're selling. You know, I'm here talking about a product line that's called Roller Coaster Wave, but it's up under the brand Barbernomics, because Barbernomics is really the culture of it, and it's an umbrella which has a lot of different products up under it. Our brand is alone, we have 6 different products up under that, and as I showed you, not Wolf Wax, but Roller Coaster Waves is one of them. All you guys have one of those that you can take home with you. I see you got a question over there. Just hold your question. It's going to be a second at the end where we'll give you a chance to do some Q&A. So just be patient with me, and I'll get to all of those things. Maybe it'll be answered throughout the conversation. But to go into some more of the basics, which I feel are important, when you create the package, like just with this alone, we went through maybe 5, maybe damn near 10 different labels just getting this right. When you look at this, and you guys have them on your desk so you can look around at them, you see a lot of the pertinent information. A lot of this stuff is required by law. Ingredients, you want to know the ingredients. You have to list by order of contents of what's the biggest thing in there. If there's more water than anything in there, water needs to be first, and so on and so forth. Also, directions, of course, on how to apply it. There's basic stuff, you know, UPC codes. These are codes that are registered. that you can pretty much scan, and it will give a product information across the board so people know where and what your product is. When you go to big box stores, these things are going to be necessary for you. And we're just talking about packaging right now on the outside. You want to make sure you find the right package for you. This right here is a double wall, which means that this wall right here has a layer on top of a layer. It just gives the packaging a little bit more bulk. And the inside, of course, this is a round cap on top. The contents in the inside is a whole nother conversation, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that just a little bit. Once you find out what you want to put on the outside, then you have to find out what you're going to put in on the inside, right? So say you want to do product for edges, right? And this is edge product or something like that. So you got a name or whatever, Miss Lady's Edges. Okay, that's your name. And you want to put something in here. You got to have to either one, get a chemist. Well, we weren't as privileged to have a chemist when we first started. Well, we had a house chemist. She did our product in the house for the past, maybe for about a year. She worked on our product. She meaning our business, one of our business partners. She created a product and out of her house, and that gave us a good head start on how these products are composed. But when you don't deal with people on the next level of chemistry, it didn't have stability, so the product would break down in the heat. So part of our story is really an evolution of ups and downs and trials and tribulations, and part of those trials and tribulations are the things that it took to really perfect this formula. Part of going into perfecting this formula is when we first started, it was composed of, I think it was LA hair gel, petroleum, some fragrance, some dye, and several other little elements blended up in a high-speed mixture. It looked really pretty. Not as pretty as this right here, not as pretty as this candy right here, this hair candy right here. You guys see this hair candy? I know you can't smell it from over there, maybe. But this is hair candy. This hair candy is really the, I don't want to use the word crack, but, because crack is whack. But no, this is it right here. But this basically, this is our formula that really took us to open up the lane to promote several other formulas within this brand. And you have to find out what is going to work for you. That's going to require a lot of R&D. That means research and development. And it's going to require a lot of trial and error. And it's not an overnight process. But we're not building this brand so it can be an overnight brand. We're building this brand so it can be sustainable, so it can have some legs, and really we're creating legacy. We just, meaning black people, we really just don't own enough brands out here, and we want to go ahead and get into that space. So this is an opportunity for us to create something, own something, and if you decide to sell it, that's up to you. And if you decide to have something you can pass on to your children, that's up to you. But it has to be started, and you have to create something. You can't really have a whole world of doing things, building other people's empire forever. It got to be at some point that you take the chains and you decide to, steer this thing into your direction of what you want to do for yourself and destiny, and just to fulfill your own personal fantasies. I think at the end of the day, I used to say we all want to be great. I don't think we all want to be great. I think we all want to be happy. And being happy doesn't require everybody to be at the head of the pack. Personally, I don't always like to be at the head of the pack. Sometimes I like to be in the middle of the pack so I can relax a little bit and let them other horses run, But for what I'm doing right now with this hair product game, this is something I'm passionate about. This is something that I'm creating a legacy on again. And it's also giving my friends, family, my children an education into entrepreneurship and how to really market this business on a multimedia platform. I'm going to go into some of that right now of how to market your business on a multimedia level platform. Some of the things that I use are like Instagram, IFTT, that's if this and that, Facebook ads, pay-per-click ads, which are Google ads, which also can be all affiliated with Instagram and IFTT and all the same things. And I'll go into that in a little bit later on down the line. A couple other things I want to go into in this legal before I go down the list is you have to have your EIN number, right? Anybody know what EIN number is? You know? You don't know? Well, Google it up, and I want you to tell me at the end of the class what EIN number is, okay? Tax ID number, that's pretty much obvious. It's just a number that you register up under for your taxes. So you can be identified, and your company can kind of let you, or the state can let you know how much you owe, blah, blah, blah. I want to go into also make sure you have your business checking account. Now you're gonna need some of these other pieces to the puzzle before you go in and get that. Now I know business checking account sounds pretty simple to most of you guys. And I know everybody in here usually has a business checking account, which is fine. But for those people who do not have a business checking account, you need to bring the business documents in there provided so you can get what you need done. And part of that is EIN and tax ID number. So make sure when you go in there that you have what's required so you can get your business checking account. That way you keep your finances and stuff separate from your personal. When I first started my business, I made a lot of mistakes, so that's how I can tell you what to do and what not to do, because I went in with personal and had all my stuff kind of mixed up. So we coming out of that now. But don't do like me, and do that part. If you don't do that part, you'll be good. All right, I want to go into big box, wholesale, and retail. Big box is what we call Target, Walmart, Walgreens, etc., things like this. It's a process of getting into big box. First, you have to have product on deck to do that. Now, it was a time that my mind was really like, I didn't know how big this business could be, I didn't know how much money I could make with this business, and I didn't know how many opportunities and how many blessings God was gonna provide for me with this. So when I first got into it, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but I was dreaming about having 200 units. I was dreaming about having 200 units. Now I have thousands of units. It was a time when my first year I did $2,500 in the whole year. My first year I did $2,500. And I was happy just to have a side business that made any money at all, be honest with you. Now I have $2,500 days. I have $4,000 days. And it's not every day, but it happens, and I know the potential of this business. So this is where I'm at. This is my home, and this is where I'm going to stay, because I know that the opportunities within this business are really unlimited. Now I'm going to go into wholesale. When you're talking about selling wholesale, and when you talk about a product, you want to have 3 price scales, okay? You want to have the price scale where you come in at. That's what you're making it for. Like, say I'm making this product for, let me take this one, it's a little easier. Making this product for $2, right? No, for $1. I'm going to sell it, that's tier 1, my price. I'm going to sell it to the wholesalers, right, for $2.50, right? Now, most wholesalers like to buy something that they can sell for at least 40% markup, which is pretty much standard industry. Now, this product is selling for $6, which really gives you 70% markup on here. So that means your margin. Your margin is the cost in between what you pay for that product and what you sell that product for. So their margin is really in that 60, 70%, which is really fantastic for this particular product. Now, when we first came with this one, our price scale was a little off. And this lets you see the experience in making your product. Now, when I do this, my margins are equally as big as it is in this, but more people have $5 to spend than they have $12 or $10 to spend. The magic number in the pricing game is really $8.99. Going through the business for some years, of course, I learned these things, so now I understand what it takes to make these things work. So it's not just having a pretty package, which is a very good looking product, but it's not just about having a good looking product. It's also about having a good pricing structure that's going to allow you to really make the money and let everybody in the scale. That means your wholesaler, that means your retailer, that means, yourself, of course. Everybody has to make money in this thing or it's not going to make sense. And one thing about pricing our product at $2.50 wholesale, it gives the retailer a chance to, he can market high at $6.99 or $5.99, but he can also drop it all the way down, to $4.50 and still make that original 40%. If he so desires. So what we want to do is always leave room for that man, which is the wholesaler, to make money, because he's going to market your product, he's going to distribute your product, he's going to be the face person for that brand. And with that being said, you want to make sure they have everything they need to be successful. That means posters, that means flyers, that means shelf spacers. All these things are necessary for you to give to your